It seems like, especially since COVID, more and more people are staying home to eat. In the old days, you used to have to go to a restaurant to eat or to pick up food. But now we have these food delivery apps, such as Doordash, Postmates. Last year, there was 1.5 billion users of these apps and over 1 million drivers. So more drivers on the road means more accidents. Hello, I'm Eli Castronova. I'm an injury attorney in Los Angeles, California, and I represent people who have been injured by food app drivers or also food app drivers that have been injured by other people. There's many accidents that have injured clients that I represent and that I have represented in the last few years. Just 5 years ago, there was no such a thing as a food app driver being involved in an accident with anyone. But now, because there's so many drivers on the road, that's just a recipe for accidents and injuries. I want to tell you one story about one client who I am now representing who was injured by a Doordash driver. This young woman was a passenger in a car, and a Doordash driver who was in the course of delivering food pulled out from a side street and smashed into the car in which he was riding. Now, from the police report, which we got after the accident, there was no indication that he was a Doordash driver. There was only an indication that he owned the car, and the insurance information for that particular car was included on the police report. So when we followed up with the insurance company, they told us he had a minimum policy. Now, what this means in California is drivers are only required to have $15,000 coverage for each person that's injured in an accident and $30,000 coverage no matter how many people are involved in the accident. That's woefully inadequate. That's been in the present law for the last 60 years. And medical costs have gone up, and people's earnings have gone up, which they can lose if they're involved in an accident. And nothing's changed as far as the insurance requirements. This young lady had to go to the hospital. She suffered low back injuries, including herniated discs, and we were only looking at $15,000 from this driver. But when we have a case in which the injuries are greater than just a few sprains and strains that may require a couple months of treatment with a doctor or a chiropractor, we make sure that we investigate the financial background of the other driver, including whether he was driving while employed or driving while he was using a ride-sharing app or one of these food delivery apps. And in this case, that paid off. Rather than just accept $15,000, we were able to discover that this gentleman was a Doordash driver and that he was in the course of delivering food. Now, what that means is Doordash will cover up to $1 million for injuries when a Doordash driver is on the app and delivering food. In this case, this young lady has had several injections in her lower back to try to get rid of her pain, but it has not worked so far. So she may be looking at surgery. She is presently scheduled to see a neurosurgeon to see if she is a candidate for low back surgery. And it's really sad because she has been a yoga teacher for several years and has helped many people meditate and to get into shape. And now she's out of commission, so she's losing earnings. She's looking at potential surgery, and she's looking at a major disruption in her life. But because we were able to discover that there was more insurance coverage than just meets the eye, she looks forward at least to get some kind of reasonable compensation for her injuries and medical treatment that she needs. And the fortunate thing is that my office knows neurosurgeons and pain management specialists who will give treatment, including surgery, and wait until the case is over before they will request payment. This is very important. Many attorneys know doctors who will examine someone or even give them conservative types of treatment. But not many attorneys know neurosurgeons and orthopedic surgeons who will perform surgery on a lien basis. And by that, I mean they will wait. It's very important, I think, to know, in my situation at least, that potential clients know that I grew up in a medical family. My father was a surgeon for 50 years. And before I even became an attorney, we would talk about various injuries that someone had suffered, various types of surgeries he'd done on people that were injured in accidents. And I became well versed in the terminology and what was involved in treating injured people. So when I became an attorney, when I had a particular case that I was not familiar with or was unsure about the cause of pain that someone was suffering from an injury, I would go to him. And that helped me on my way to a career in which I am able to help people that are injured because I understand what their injuries are and I understand the treatment they need. And I've been doing that for almost 40 years now. So if someone's involved in an accident with a rideshare driver or a food delivery driver, or they are a food delivery driver who's involved in an accident that's not their fault, we are able to represent them competently and get those folks the kind of treatment they need and make sure that we investigate all potential kinds of coverage that could compensate them for their injuries, because we've been doing it ever since these ride-sharing apps came out, and we know what we're doing, and we're there to help people that are injured.
Hi there. I am an AI avatar reading a real Google review by Luis Enrique Lopez. It went very well with the lawyer. I highly recommend him 100%. All the staff are very friendly and they help you with any questions. Thanks for your review, Luis Enrique Lopez. It's appreciated.
Hi there. I am an AI avatar reading a real Google review by Tyron Qualls. This is my third experience, and I have yet to be disappointed. I love the effort and dedication he provides to his clients. I highly recommend anyone that is in any type of personal injury crisis to come here. You will not be disappointed. Thanks for your review, Tyron Qualls. It's appreciated.